And here we are. Goodness me. Now that's what you call crazy, isn't it? That's me going daft and actually setting up something wrongly, and I misputting the soundtrack in, but there you go. Sorry if I've deafened you. If you're wearing earphones, there you go. I'm sorry about that. One of those things that happens when you're in a rush. Good morning. That has woken you up, Brian. I'm glad to hear it. It's nice to know that people are waking up on this bright and early morning. One of the things I'm trying to do, as ever, it's more to do with trying than achieving, is to do a bit more live content again after the summer silly season, as we said. And one of the things that's interesting at the moment, there's a couple of interesting stories that I think are really a little bit dramatic and a little bit fascinating. So we'll see what happens on those. We'll put this up first and say good morning to Richard. And from Brian, yes, I think it's probably woken everybody up, Brian. It's made my day, that, actually. What a loopy thing to do. Anyway, what are we going to talk about this morning? A couple of things to talk about, just a couple that we'll talk about on this morning's Felixstowe Live. Let's just go back to my other page on my other pootery thing. And let's just go to that. There we go. Okay. Well, we've got an interesting little weekend, in fact, because at the moment, as you may know, you may not know, we've got an interesting ship coming in on Sunday, Sunday the 12th. Let's just find it. There we go, Sunday the 12th. It's a maiden call and a first call from Ever Ace, which is the latest new ship from Evergreen. Ever Ace, mighty ship. She's 400 meters long, the same as all the rest. And she is coming to us from Rotterdam, because she's done a first unload at Rotterdam and I think at Hamburg as well. And she's coming into us on Sunday morning. Now, bear in mind, the dear old Evening Star and East Anglian, who don't really understand ships and shipping very much at all, have put in that she's going to be coming here at 7 o'clock. And if you're going to dash down here to Felixstowe Viewpoint or down to the seafront at Harwich or over to Shotley, wherever, at some mad hour in the morning, then let me tell you guys, best bits. One that the port does is they have time, which is kind of aimed at being when the ship actually gets alongside the quay. So Felixstowe want that ship alongside the quay at 7 o'clock. The reality is that to get alongside the quay at 7 o'clock, she's probably going to come through the harbour entrance at about 6 o'clock. Nearer 6 o'clock than 7, almost certainly. She is due to collect her pilot at about 4 o'clock on Sunday morning, which means that chances are the ship will actually be coming in the entrance at 6 o'clock, and therefore she'll be alongside the quay at 7 o'clock. So if you come at 7 o'clock, you'll see her alongside the quay, but you won't see any of the movement, etc. So remember that time for Sunday morning, the arrival of Ever Ace is probably going to be at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. If you want to actually see her, be here for then, or be at the other end of your computer, because we'll be doing, again, a little live show of Ever Ace arriving at Felixstowe. There you have it. So there you go. And we also have, I'm just going to run forward into my, into next week's, if it's on here, of course. Never tell. But let's go elsewhere and have a look. We've got another maiden call coming up next week at some point. I'm not sure what date, but I'll have a look at that. Let's see. Here we go. On the 14th, we've got MSC Diletta, which is a brand new MSC ultra large container ship. She is the same overall size, more or less, as Ever Ace. And she's coming in at around 10 p.m. forecast time on the 14th of September. Now, that means Wednesday, and that time means, well, she'll probably be coming through the harbour entrance at about 9 o'clock if this forecast stays the same as it is. But chances are, guys, it won't. Bear in mind that ships live by their own times, if you like. If she's delayed by an hour getting out of port, she's going to be delayed by an hour getting here, etc. So that's a target time. 10 o'clock, she's going to be alongside. Chances are she will actually be coming in the harbour entrance at around 9 o'clock, when it should still just about be light. And if it is, we'll be here to film it. So there you go. So that's the 14th for Diletta. She's doing at 10 o'clock. So that means, or do alongside at 10 o'clock. So that means she'll be here before then. So don't let the timings get you fooled, guys. If you turn up at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, you may or may not see anything. There you go. I'm glad to know you like my alarm call. I'll have to make that a really, man. I thought that was fun. And who else have we got here? Rob Finestra. Oh, Rob Finstra. Sorry about it. I can watch your... Well, I wish I had the time, Rob, to be honest with you. I'll drop you a little note about this because it's an interesting one and it's worth maybe having a conversation, see where we go with that. Let's move on to the next person. Gondola coming over to us from Germany. Yep. Nice to see you there, Gondola. And with a comment, yes, that's right. She's coming to Felixstowe. We'll get her when she comes in. There you go. And she's in Hamburg. Yep. Okay. And I saw that on my vessel or my ship tracking, which I'm now using as my favoured ship reporting AIS system. So there we go. So that's 2 stories this morning, and what we talk about is one more story which has got me really interested, and I think I'll do a little bit more about it a bit later, but we'll go back on those 2. So let's go back on the 2 ships coming in Sunday morning, probably coming into the harbour at about 6 o'clock at this moment. If we know more when things change later, we'll let you know. So that's Ever Ace, Sunday morning, probably about 6ish. And then we've got MSC Diletta. She's coming in on the 14th. That's Wednesday. And she'll be in for about 10 o'clock, which means, again, she'll be coming in about 8:30 into the harbour. Do not be Felixstowe's arrival times. They're not deliberately erroneous. What they are is the time when Felixstowe would like to have the ship against the quay. There you have it. Okay, one more little story that I want to talk about this morning before I go, which is really interesting. I think it's a scary one for some people, and we'll talk about that now. If you've got a viewpoint, I'd love to hear it. What we're going to talk about is dear old Morrison's. Now, we've got our own Morrison's just up the road here in Felixstowe, and I find it a reasonable shop. A lot of people, I know, aren't that enthused by Morrison's, but some people are, and I don't mind them. So, Morrison's have decided that what they're going to do is actually change the way they've been dealing with sick pay for their employees. And they're now apparently going to say that if you are not fully vaccinated, you will be suffering a reduction in sick pay if you have to self-isolate. What they're saying is it's your choice. But in fact, what they're saying at the same time is if you don't get fully vaccinated or you aren't fully vaccinated, then you are going to have a problem with your sick pay. It's a really interesting one, isn't it? It's really difficult. And it really is a bit of a, I don't know what you call it, really. It's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? Really, I guess you have to say that if you do not have full vaccinations and you work in the in Morrison's, in Felixstowe or anywhere else in the UK, it is very likely that you will suffer a reduction in your sick pay if you're off through self-isolation. That, I think they're the first employer to say things like that, but I think there will be many more employers saying similar stuff. If you don't get yourself fully vaccinated, you will suffer financial loss if you're ill with COVID. What do you think? I would love to hear from you, actually, and I'll be doing a little piece about this later in the day, and hopefully we can get a decent discussion on that, because I think that's quite important. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live. It's now coming up to, my goodness, it's now coming up to about 5 to 8, and unbelievably, folks, I still haven't had a bacon sandwich. but I will do, don't you worry. And I might put an egg in it as well if I feel wildly exciting. Don't forget, if you like what we do here on Felix Day Live, you can get involved. You can join our supporters group. That gives you the chance to give us £2.29 a month. It comes down to about £2 when you've done it. And the reality is that helps to pay the bills. We do have £50 to £100 of bills every jolly old week. Sorry, every jolly old month on Felix Day Live, between 50 and £100, depending on what I have to spend to make the content. And that may go up a little bit, but I don't think so. But if you can afford a couple of quid to help us out and keep us producing content, then get in touch. Click on the supporters, click on the Felix Day Live Facebook page, and you'll be taken there. You can join up. You can click in for your couple of quid a month, and that helps me to pay the bills without knocking the money off my pension. If you don't think I'm worth a regular monthly £2, you can always donate a £3 minimum, one off, just to help out, which would still be very much appreciated. There we go. Let's get rid of all that, and then we'll go back to our nice view of the dot. Oh, that was a mistake. There we go. I removed the wrong one. Okay, let's just go to that and that.
Good morning.
Morning, young John. How you doing? I've got my friend.
Nasty job doing now.
You've got what? A nasty job for me?
No, for me.
Oh, for you.
Yeah.
We're live on Felix Day Live, so tell us about it, John.
Oh, no.
Yeah, come on.
Fox.
You found a dead fox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit sad. So, what, have you got to shovel him up or what?
Shove him up with a bag, yeah.
Oh, dear. Poor old. Not good. Oh, good old John. He does the stuff that keeps our viewpoint looking good. He works jolly hard. I've got a lot of time for young John Hart, down here at the Viewpoint. What can you say? People like him are the kind of people who keep our resort going because they do the jobs that other people don't want to do. People throw litter and rubbish away on the prom, on the seafront, and in blunt terms, they mess it up, and people like John clear it up. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Felix Day Live, and I'm going to depart now and go and have my egg and bacon sandwich. I may have to go and buy some bacon. I'll see you soon. Take care now.